So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot. Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Good morning.
You.
Excellent. How are you?
I can't complain. At least I don't complain, because if I complain, then I have to listen to other people's complaints. So
That part. And I was just about to tell you, well, I woke up this morning, I was feeling all right. Then I had my first cup of tea and it just didn't give me wings the way I needed it to. But it was like, I didn't
like,
sign up for all this.
I gotta run. I got something.
Absolutely. But you know what? I'm so grateful that you decided to take time out of your schedule to jump in the hot seat and on the tan line, because I've got questions that need answers.
Okay, well, we got a little bit of time before I have my next one is at 11:15.
Well, that's fine. I'll have you out of here before dinner.
Got you. Let's roll. Let's hit it.
Mr. Braswell, I know that you've been super busy, but now you have the DADICATION. Now, tell me a little bit about the importance of this initiative and pushing it forward, especially while we're getting ready to celebrate all of the fathers and father figures. And I know that this is something that's near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely. We've been building on this. We've been building on this particular campaign, for a few years now. And it started with us wanting to really begin to start impacting the societal narrative around fathers, right? That they don't care, they're not involved, that they're not there. The research does not back that. In fact, today, fathers are more engaged than they've ever been in the day-to-day activities of their children, changing diapers, feeding, pushing their kids in strollers through the mall, all those things that we never did before. Some of that is connected to our new gen dads, which are, they're a little different, than us old school dads, but even us old school dudes are still finding our way into the nurturing space. And so what we wanted to do is to be able to bring life not only to the struggles that fathers are going through in their lives, which we did last year. We kind of leaned a little bit into some of the more serious matters. This year, we decided to let's hit the heartstrings. Let's go after the first, those things that we see the gleams in the eyes of our dads when you talk to them. Talk to me about the first time your child said, "Daddy." Talk to me about the first time you pushed your child off and they rode a bike. The first time, you had an intimate conversation. The first time you took your daughter on a date. Those are the things that really bring out the true essence and nature of fatherhood.
And I applaud you and your team for even creating those safe spaces where fellas can get together and say it. Because, us as women, whenever we have a woe, we'll sit down at the nail shop. We'll sit down while we're getting our hair done. We'll tell it to a stranger in line at the grocery store. But fellas just don't really have that safe space to say it without being judged, without being looked at as if they're nagging about the situation or trying to push the blame on someone else. This is a space to where you can nurture them while they're trying to be the nurturer that they long to be, because a lot of the fathers probably didn't have that father figure that they desire to be, which really makes it hard.
Yeah, that was my narrative. I didn't meet my father until I was 23 years old. I had my first child when I was 17, and I got it wrong. I'm not even going to lie. I tell my truth all the time. I got it wrong, and I ultimately corrected it. But some of the damage was already done, right? And so when you don't spend that time, for me, in the first 8 or 9 years of my child's life, you can't recover that. You can't pull that back. And here's the key. There is no excuse that you can give to your child that's okay. You can give excuses to yourself. You can give excuses to the world. You can give excuses to all kinds of things. But the narrative that your child wants to hear is why. Why didn't you come from me? Why did you give up? Why did you stop? Why didn't you, show me that you love me? A dad, that's the worst question a dad has to answer of their child, to explain their absence.
And really don't even have the answers that would be sufficient. You
Right.
can say it, it'll make all the sense in the world to you, but to a child or even to the inner child of an adult, that's now asking that father.
Hey, the little boy in me still asking questions, and my father passed away, and those questions will never be answered, right? And so he doesn't know that, and I can't keep, demonizing him for what he did, because the other reality, right, is there's always two stories, right? There's the story that our mom tells and the story that our dad tells. And sometimes we don't really know the real truth and essence of those stories until we get grown like me and you. And
Yeah.
then we at the family reunion and your cousin telling you some stuff. You're like, wait, what?
What? Huh? When did this happen? I just came here for the peas and a potato salad. You know what I mean? Like, what? No, my God, tell me about it. But
And
it's like whenever the fathers get together and they realize that maybe you don't have to have it all together.
right.
Men as a whole sometimes feel as if they're not adding up because now with society and the hashtags and the retweets and this instant gratification that the world tells us is a sign of perfection in 60
Mhm.
seconds or less, especially with these devices,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's almost like you should never underestimate the power of your presence. So
Absolutely.
even if you don't have it all together, even if you
Mhm.
don't have the money or the resources, I mean, a walk through the park or just being at the PTA meetings, those
Mhm.
things are free. And the
Mhm.
kid thinks of it as priceless. So whenever
Right.
you're nurturing those fathers, what are some of the obstacles that you face trying to find a level of transparency, giving them consistency, but also some level of accountability within that?
Yeah, generally for men, it's hard for us to share our truth, right? Because we believe that sharing our truth can ultimately be held against us, right? In judgment. And so we won't tell the things that we might be vulnerable about. Something as simple as my child was just born. I'm 17 years old and I'm scared to freaking death. And I have no idea what I should do. And the thing that we never think about is, you know what? She's 17 too, and she's probably scared to death, and she has no idea what motherhood is going to look like, right?
Right.
And now you got two scared people who has the responsibility of raising a child with no roadmap or healthy role model to help them through it. And
Yeah.
so part of it is getting them to overcome that first, right? Then the second thing is confidence, knowing that you can do it. Like nothing gets placed on your shoulder that I believe you can't handle, right?
Right.
If it happened, it happened. Now you gotta, as as the more seasoned folks on, put on your big drawers, right? And now you got to go out.
That's right. Jump off the porch. We're here now.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No turning
Let's
back.
yeah, let's get it done. Let's get it done. And then the last thing, which is what we've tried to do with the clearinghouse and with these PSAs, is to offer resources so that they can come and get resources to understanding those things. But the more important thing is that they can be inspired even when it doesn't look easy or they don't have all the answers. There's a reason that Spider-Man is called amazing, because there are mornings that Spider-Man wakes up and he doesn't feel so amazing and he's just Peter Parker, and he
Yeah.
needs someone to tell him amazing so he can show up in the world the way that the world expects him to show up. That's our
Absolutely.
moms and that's our dads. And for Father's Day, particularly our dads, we need you to show up. And the way that we want you to know that we need you to show up is that you need to know that we know that you're amazing.
And I know statistically, this is across the board, and you will see different things in different states. But here in the state of Louisiana, it's sad to say, but we have been the best of the worst in so many different things for so long. It almost feels as if it's hopeless times, but it's
Mhm.
not, right? Especially when people can dig deep and they want to be the beacon of light in what may seem to be a dark time. But
Mhm.
getting the help and doing the work and saying, I'm not okay when I'm not okay, that's a
Right.
strength. It's not a weakness.
Hmm.
And I would encourage you and your team, if you don't have local chapters, consider doing that and expanding it, because what you're doing, it's needed. And
Hmm.
representation, it matters. So when they see the transparency that you have and they can hear it from your heart, and nothing is better than hearing it in your words saying, I didn't get it right. I messed
Right.
it up and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Hey,
I
my
have
daddy messed
questions.
it up. His
He
daddy
messed
messed
it
it
up.
up. His daddy
Right.
messed it up.
Right. And there was
My
nobody
mama
on the
messed it
block,
up.
big brother. Hello, somebody. And we got some messed up situations going on right now, and we need to clean it up. So we need our brooms, we need our mops, we need our buckets, we need some gallon buckets for this. Because, baby, let me lay around there and holler at you right quick. And
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
all have some
Mhm.
stuff that we need to clean up. And with the
Absolutely.
resources that you provide at fatherhood.gov, I know that those are some resources that can definitely help. But whenever you come to Louisiana, I am your official tour guide. I'll set you up with all your speaking engagements. I got you on some food. Don't worry about nobody telling you no family stories at the family reunions. I got you, okay? I got you.
I'm there. I was just in Louisiana not too long ago, not in
Oh,
Baton
come
Rouge. I
on.
was over in New Orleans, right? And
Oh,
so
come
everybody's like,
on,
"You gonna go
man.
over there?" But I need to. There's some great people down in New Orleans. Some people that I got to get you in contact with. There are some brothers down there that are trying this thing, but they're they small, but they're mighty. And they're
Yes,
trying, and they need help in scaling because that's what we need. Even though this is great work to do, it still needs an infrastructure around it to do all the work that you're trying to do. And that is the challenge today in the responsible fatherhood field for many fatherhood organizations around the country. Given that
yes.
this is such a new element of social services, it is getting the infrastructure so that a father anywhere around this country will have access to services that are geared specifically for them.
That's good. And I want you to think of this as an extension of your office. So don't make that field trip to Louisiana again
It
without
won't
me.
happen.
Because I'm telling you that you messed it up. But I'm gonna give you a chance to get it right.
I'm gonna get it right next time. I promise you.
There you have it. I know you have more work to do, so I'm gonna let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love
Mhm.
you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Look at that. You got my saying too. I knew that was something that was connecting us. Thank
Hey,
you so much, and
cuz.
happy Father's Day to all of your listeners out there.
Thank you so much.
Take care.